I've spent years studying the human brain, and there's one insight that changes everything about how we reach our goals. Most people focus on what they need to do, but that's actually the wrong place to start. The real breakthrough happens when you focus on who you need to become. Let's break that down. Say someone wants to get fit. They usually jump into workouts and diet plans, but the people who actually stay fit, they think differently. They don't say, I need to go to the gym. They say, I'm someone who takes care of my body. That shift from action to identity is everything. I call it the identity-first principle, and it's the foundation of all lasting change, because your behavior always aligns with who you believe you are. Always. And the best part? It's not about motivation or forcing yourself. It becomes automatic. But your brain does need something before it can accept a new identity. 2 specific ingredients: a vivid visualization of your future self, and a realistic plan to overcome obstacles. This technique is called mental contrasting. It's powerful. Picture yourself as the person you want to become: confident, focused, disciplined. But don't just imagine the highlight reel. Ask yourself, what might stand in my way? What challenges are likely to come up? When you do that, your brain builds a real, practical roadmap. It prepares for both success and setbacks. But here's the final piece of the puzzle, something I call minimum viable progress. Your brain keeps score. It needs real-world proof that you're becoming this new version of yourself. And the key is to start absurdly small. Want to become a reader? Just read 1 page. Want to be someone who works out? Do 1 push-up. Yes, it seems laughably tiny, but these micro-actions are not about the result. They're about building your identity. Every small win rewires your brain's belief system. Hey, this is who I am now. Now that we understand how identity shapes behavior, let's look at how your environment can either support or sabotage this transformation. The good news? You can design it to work for you. There's a clever strategy called temptation bundling. Take something you need to do and pair it with something you genuinely enjoy. Love a podcast? Only let yourself listen to it while exercising. Got a project you've been procrastinating on? Make your favorite coffee shop the only place where you're allowed to work on it. But here's something most people miss. Your physical environment needs to be redesigned too. Want to play more guitar? Don't hide it in a case. Put it in the middle of your living room. Want to eat healthier? Make fruits visible and hide the junk. Every major action can be broken down into a 2-minute version. These tiny actions, they're like doors. Once you walk through, continuing becomes exponentially easier than starting. This isn't about motivation. It's not about willpower. It's about making success the path of least resistance. Your environment should make the right thing easy, and the wrong thing hard. But let's go deeper. Understanding your brain's environment is one thing, but learning how your mind handles loss and commitment gives you real psychological leverage. Here's a strange quirk about your brain. It hates losing twice as much as it enjoys winning. So imagine this. You put $100 down on a goal. Now, not hitting that goal isn't just disappointing. It's costly. And your brain will fight hard to avoid that loss. There's more. Your brain can't stand unfinished business. There's even a name for it, the Zeigarnik effect. When you start something and don't finish, your mind stays fixated on it. Ever had a song stuck in your head? That's the effect in action. Your brain keeps looping until it hears the ending. And guess what? We can use that. Start a task, then deliberately take a short break. Your brain will itch to get back to it. Now pair that with what I call commitment devices. These are tools that make it harder to fail than to succeed. Tell people about your goal. Schedule it in advance. Prepay for the thing you want to do. These aren't hacks. They're scientifically sound tools that use your brain's built-in wiring, glitches really, to keep you moving forward. Now let's talk about building habits that actually stick. Not for a week, not for a month, but habits that reshape your life. Every habit is built on what I call an invisible foundation. You already have dozens of automatic behaviors. Brushing your teeth, scrolling your phone, drinking your morning coffee. These existing habits, they're the perfect launch pads for something new. This is where habit stacking comes in. Attach your new habit right after something you already do. But there's a layer most people miss, what I call gateway habits. These are foundational habits that make all other habits easier. Getting enough sleep? Gateway habit. Regular movement? Another one. These don't just affect one part of your life, they upgrade your entire system. And if you want to make habits stick, remove every piece of friction. Want to eat better? Wash and slice your fruit ahead of time and put it where you can see it. Your willpower is like a battery. Every decision drains it a little more. So the key is this: design habits that require zero willpower. Habits aren't about forcing discipline, they're about making the right thing automatic. Stack them on what already works. Start with gateway habits, and remove anything that gets in the way. With those habits in place, let's dive into something deeper: motivation. Most people think it's this magical feeling that comes and goes. But in reality, motivation has a structure. Your brain doesn't care about the future. What it does care about is rewards. So think of motivation like a bridge. On one side, you've got where you are. On the other, your goal. Every action you take is a plank on that bridge. But you have to feel the future now, not later. I call this dopamine scheduling. Here's how it works. Dopamine isn't just released when you reach a reward. It's released every time you make progress toward it. So track everything. Every small win. Every step forward. And your brain will start craving progress itself. Most people see their future self as a stranger. That's a mistake. Try this. Write a letter from your future self, thanking you for the work you're doing right now. That's not just a fun exercise. It rewires your brain's reward system. It makes future success feel emotionally real. Now. And that's where motivation becomes automatic.